And we're live. That took a while. Join me again. Hey, y'all. Back in for another episode of React.
Run the intro again.
Yes, still a beat too, but this is My Little Pony. This is our Reactor My Little Pony Season 8, Episode 19. Don't forget the name of this one. I think it's something about trip.
Yeah, like a road trip of friendship.
Yeah, something like that. Joining me again is a herd of bronies.
Hello, ponies. I'm a herd of bronies. So welcome back to Let's Watch Season 8. Let's hope this episode is any better than the last one.
Next up, Carlos.
This is Gunmetal Gator here, giving you all the most inquisitive question for your viewing pleasure today. Don't ever think about giving up on something say, I don't know, giving up on the fandom because of one terrible episode that just throws off the values that you had on one of your favorite characters at all, making you question if you ever liked that character in the first place and wasn't just misinterpreting her all along. Because really, shows go through a lot of bad stuff with seasonal rot and such, but really, it's all just the game of trying to find if you can find a better character for the moment of trying to latch onto, all of a sudden latching on to Fluttershy when season 6 happened. But who really cared about that, or the fact that the new character's influx just overwhelms the entire show? I mean, come on. Contemplating leaving existence.
We don't need better characters. We need better writers.
Yeah.
True that.
Yeah, it feels like we just have a bunch of filler writers right now, where it's their intent is not to advance this show, it's just to not have it collapse, which just makes it sort of bland and boring.
Yeah.
I will say the one Fluttershy episode coming up wasn't that bad. Actually, it's probably the best one of the season so far, I think. We're up there.
Oh yeah, and let's not mention the fact that all the episodes are officially, well, not officially, but just aired in different countries outside of the US fully.
Australia hasn't ended yet. But Dutch has aired their episodes. I haven't watched any of the future episodes up until now, except for the Fluttershy episode, which is my Fluttershy clause.
Okay.
So,
can I have a clause too for Spike episodes then?
Oh, I do know about that episode. I haven't watched it, but
I'm just feeling so tempted to just watch it, but it's no. I gotta hold myself back for 2 months.
You shan't.
It's not too far away.
Oh, wait, no,
right.
not 2 months, just 1 month.
Yeah, about a month. That's about once a week. All right. Anyway, Jen.
Hello, I'm Jen, ready for watching more of Season 8. I still don't have my laptop yet. That's it.
Hi, Jen.
Hi. Welcome to 8-Bits Anonymous.
Hello, Jen.
Hi, my name's Jen, and I'm a 8-bit aholic.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jen. So, what did you do today in order to progress on your treatments?
I drank.
I contemplated drawing the Paladins of Voltron getting high.
Now, how do you feel that makes the Paladins feel?
I think it makes the Paladins feel like they are contemplating their own existence.
And high.
And hungry.
And
couch locked.
Because they're so high.
Wait a minute. Okay, no. Okay, now new thing. Imagine the Paladins of Voltron all singing the song Because I Got High, but or worse. Someone wrote a parody of Because I Got High, and they portrayed it to Voltron. It's I was gonna save the universe, but then I got high. I was gonna stop the Golra Empire, but then I got high. Da 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 da. Now Zarkon is back, and we don't know why. Why, man? Yeah, because we got high. Da 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 da. Oh.
All right. Next up, second.
Hi there, I'm the Second Opinion. And from a critic first and a fan second. Yeah, sorry, too much boredom that season after season increasingly going down. That is a little bit of a reason to worry.
That's very much a reason to worry.
And even more.
Hold on, it's not the series season ain't over yet. There's still time.
Yeah.
Right?
No, this is true. Season 8 is especially low. I mean, okay, after last week, you know what? This season has set every record on my card in the wrong direction. Season 6, Season 3, breathe a sigh of relief. You are merely the Cars 1 or Monsters U of MLP now. We have found the Cars 2. Oi!
Wow, Second, tell us what you really feel.
I think if we did, it would be a huge diatribe worthy of a college thesis paper.
Yeah. Then they'd be like, you just spent like a whole 4, 5, 8 pages thesis on cartoon ponies, and the part would be like, where's the part where you're laughing? Where's the part where you're laughing? That's the thing I'm worried about.
It was about 4 seasons ago.
The last era of McCarthy before season 5 was like, let's transfer the rights over to this guy. Haber, was it? I think he has a good head on his shoulders. I'm sure he won't let us down. Let's see the finale later. Oh my God, he destroyed everything. Our fans are not believing in us anymore. God dang it, why did he convince us to add this new character, Starlight Glimmer?
Alright.
Starlight's not
But
bad,
I guess with that said, are you ready for the next episode?
Yes.
As ready as we're gonna
Pressing on.
Yes.
We can continue the rant possibly after the episode because I have no idea if it's a good episode or bad episode. I don't really have the reaction to this one yet.
Oh, where's it? Where go? Here it is. Okay.
All right, everyone, we have an episode up, or
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, everyone, press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Here we go.
Oh, look, it's a Starlight episode.
Wait, everyone, stop, go back.
Run the intro.
Okay, good. I heard it this time.
Yeah, good as 0-0. Yeah, like my video browser froze for a second.
I understand. Understandable. At the very least, it wasn't.
Oh.
All right, did everyone have it set 0-0 again?
Yes.
All right, press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Perfect.
Yeah, my video player, if I leave it still for a while and not do anything, it can be sluggish to start.
I can't. Oh,
Flurry!
I kept.
Idiot, you forgot to infuse those chains with magic.
Granny!
Why did you leave someone in there?
Again, what like this teleporting spell would make this less significant.
Yeah. Oh.
Cadence! Hi, Cadence!
I can't believe they're actually having sister bonding time right now. Yeah. Oh.
So now here comes an episode about testing their bond.
Oh no.
What?
Oh boy.
Oh, not again!
Trixie.
Not again! I thought we were done with this rant! I thought we were done with that!
Their
I thought we were
faces
done
are
for that.
priceless. Oh gosh.
Like, oh my God.
Being, absolutely.
They're absolutely horrified.
Yes.
That's perfect. That is beautiful.
Being friendship is being absolutely shame-free, stupid together.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the greatest friendships are like that.
Some of the greatest friendships begin with two terrible people just finding each other and just realizing how much they have in common.
True that, too.
And
I think there's going to be a song in this episode.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
I can't wait. Excuse me, one pony? There are at least two.
she said as much as she loves her One Pony show, I think she was talking about like, yeah, it's easier with a great and powerful assistant.
Road to Friendship by Haber.
Josh Haber.
Yeah, poof! Yeah, poof!
Oh.
Is that a Saddle Arabia pony?
Oh my god.
That's a unicorn.
It is.
Whoa.
They fixed the design.
Yeah.
They don't actually look like horses now.
Oh. Ooh. Oh. What?
What?
Oh.
Is she moonwalking?
Oh.
Trixie is kind of cute, yeah.
Whoa. She knows how to self-levitate herself somewhat.
Right. We do know raw power Trixie is at least above the average unicorn.
Yeah, definitely above rarity.
Well, I would say average unicorn that isn't like a specialist in magic.
Well, that makes you by definition not average, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, just like
meme picture time.
like Starlight and like basically
Tell me like
when
one of your Saddle Arabian ponies.
Oh my god.
Oh. Wait. She's also a counselor?
Yeah.
well, that's her job at the
Aw.
school.
The professional relationship.
I feel like Peter Griffin needs to show up and be
look,
like, and I
it's your
checked,
evil
and you're
Cozy
not a
Glow."
licensed therapist.
Oh. Hey, Cozy Glow. Oh.
2 whole boxes that are approximately the size of, well, depending on the shot, your head or your body.
Ooh. Ooh.
That one surely not be used.
I feel a Chekhov's gun coming along.
Mm-hmm. Aw.
You're gonna need that raft.
Mm-hmm. I wish we had brought the raft.
Oh
dear.
Dang.
Oh, and you went back.
Okay,
My
so
claustrophobia is setting in.
okay, countdown to the
Well, it looks like she's gotten a bit of the hookah.
Yep.
countdown to the breaking moment.
Oh dear. Oh.
I like the
I think
continuity.
countdown until the wagon breaks is a better question.
Yeah.
Countdown to the wagon getting stolen.
Stolen? I don't think it's good stolen. But broken is like I said.
Wait.
Oh no, the irony.
Oh,
3D
the
edit.
hypocritical.
Look out!
Alright,
Irony!
guys.
Horrible, horrible irony!
The hypocrisy.
Oh my god! Who would have thought a Trixie and Starlight song would ever occur?
Not I.
Not really too hard to think of after they became friends.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
I knew we should have brought the raft.
Yeah.
They did bring the
There
raft.
we go. Is that where that's going, though?
Now we have a Pontify version. Oh my god!
I think I know what the plot's going to
Somebody
be.
to watch over me.
I have a feeling Starlight's going to trade this van, which is going to upset Trixie because there's sentimental value.
Don't forget about all bottled up.
I don't really know what to think about this song. It feels like an
like-
old Pinkie.
Hey, crack! Yeah.
It reminds me of an old Pinkie Pie song. Like
It's-
you know,
Mhm.
you know, like how the old season 1 Pinkie Pie
Did
songs.
anyone else
are just
catch
sort of
that?
What?
What?
They mentioned 9 seasons.
Oh god. Oh my god. They confirmed it.
Yep.
What in the world?
Oh my
It
god.
is a very road trippy song, though. I mean,
Oh my god. We're back
Was
in
that a
this town.
parody of an
Oh my goodness,
existing
it's Saddle
song?
Arabia.
It feels like a Broadway.
Yeah.
It's Saddle Arabia. Okay. Why is there a pyramid there? Saddle Arabia is different than Egypt.
No, this doesn't see.
that's fine. That's just your lunch. So, like, what did you have enough for before?
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
this is-
So they're
this
gonna
is-
find out. They're gonna find out they're not too good together in the close quarters.
Guys, this is not Saudi Arabia. This is actually the Daring Dun village.
Oh,
The Mabula.
never mind.
Oh,
Oh,
I mean, if the wagon's not really moving,
oh.
would he make a reservation?
Mm.
Uh-oh.
Hey. You're making it a bit ham-fisted in your transition.
Yeah, it felt like a weird gear shift.
Wow.
Hmm.
Hey, look.
Oh dear, claustrophobia.
Oh no.
Okay, can he not have the smoke bombs right there?
Uh. Oh.
Ah.
Ah!
Oh my god! That's scary. It's just snoring.
Oh my god!
Oh.
Okay. I
Just
love
like
that
a
face.
politician would.
I love that face.
Ah.
and now
And
people
she
are
talks in her
confident.
sleep. Starlight snores. Trixie talks in her sleep.
Oh.
Now, lack of sleep is something that can do it to you.
That is true.
Oh. I'm taking all the cheese.
That's just mean.
Mean girls. Okay.
Fine timing.
I thought she was going to say drinks all the time. I was like, oh god.
Hilarious.
Oh.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Yeah, again, a bit ham-fisted. I think they would at
That's
least
the
know
quiet-
not to announce that.
Ooh, I like the shadow effects here.
Yeah, they animate like because they switched. They're not using Flash anymore. I feel it's really starting to show now in good ways.
Burn.
Ooh. Ooh.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shut up.
Oh my god.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh no.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
You sold my property? My home? Wow, that's
Oh my god.
worse.
Yeah, that's,
To be fair, that is a very Starlight Glimmer thing to do.
Oh my god.
Yeah, not the time to hit Trixie when she's down.
Ooh. It's like she's even in worse dire straits than before. Or similar to Ghostbusters now. Oh.
Boy, these discussions.
Wow.
Boy.
Oh.
What?
Oh. What is with this pony?
This is like the least antagonizing antagonist I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good way to put it.
Just...
Oh. Oh.
Dear.
Well, you come across the wrong side of the swamp, Starlight.
Yep.
And now you're in the fire seed swamp.
Mm-hmm.
It's even worse because it's gigantic. Wow. Wagon trader.
Yeah.
Oh. Is this antagonist like some sort of anti-hero?
Yeah, but Moro, can we get my wagon back and end this thing already?
Oh,
No. Don't even think about it.
This is our deep, dark secret that we must not reveal to Twilight and the others.
It's fusion!
Twilight
It's
and
fusion!
Cadence.
Fusion, ha!
What?
Just imitate Twilight and Cadences. It's unforgettable. Believe me, I know.
I like this pony.
We don't feel like a happy ending. Can we just end this episode early?
Yeah.
Ooh. I can't believe they actually canceled their event. It's like the show always keeps on pushing. They kidnapped him. Pony. Oh my god.
That was an interesting episode.
We could definitely say it's better than I don't know, the Rainbow Dash and Apple
episode.
one. Yeah.
I would say it's better. I would say it's better than the last several previous episodes. I mean, it's flawed because like they make very weird like left turns in emotion at times, but like the main points that get brought up are like I would say good, and like it just felt interesting that the antagonist was like so anti-antagonizing, like actively like anti-antagonizing.
Well, he didn't need to be.
Yeah,
I know, but like no, it wasn't that he was an antagonist.
Yeah, I will say.
But like it was like he was like the complete opposite. Like he was so like the opposite of antagonizing. It was like hilarious.
You mean it feels like a role of like an anti-villain, honestly. Just being like, okay, I'm clearly like would be like considered like the opposing force, but at the same time, my motivations and such are clearly not in the realms of evil or doing horrible stuff, but rather more of like just being like, I wanted to get this dragon, and I thought I literally got it. But I literally will give you a chance if you can honestly prove to me that you guys are friends. And he's so smart about it. It's just like, okay. There's like a distracting thing about that pony. He kind of looks like a certain famous Brony reviewer, actually. Aeon of Dreams, actually.
Yeah, he does.
Never heard of him. Never heard of him.
He looks like a mix of Van of Dreams and Tommy Oliver.
Oh my god, Tommy Oliver.
The one weird thing with his like designs, like they almost seem to want to use him to flip his hair a lot, but like he didn't have hair to flip. Like I said, several points, it's like okay, I could sort of tell you were intending for him to have longer hair or something. Anyway, so thoughts on the episode?
Okay.
Honestly,
I only have one thought of it. Meh. That's it.
I can totally get that, Jennifer. I definitely took from this episode a lot better. Honestly, I would say it would be in the top 3 of this season. And even then, I would still agree with like your meh, because really, that's how much season 8 has really given us.
Meh.
It's just, yeah. It's like I would, like in my perspective, I would consider it like a good episode, not a great episode. Just a good episode because it actually has an interesting anti-antagonist character, which I didn't even call his name.
I didn't even get it anyway. The only thing is like, why can't you just admit, like Trixie? Why can't you just admit that you're homeless? That wagon is your home.
Just get a house.
It's not too good. She's not too good for her home.
Just get a house.
Get a house.
Get a house.
She won't get a house. She's just like Greg. She's just like Greg Universe and Steven Universe. Like he even got the money to get. He could buy a house, but he's like, no, I got a van.
Yes.
What's the deal with homeless people? Just get a house.
They're vagabonds. That's what they really are. They're drifters. They're wanting to move. They don't want to be pinned down to one location, really. For like a traveling magician, it's like, you know how boring it would be for like a magician to like be stationary in one town, even if it's not popular, and be like, am I going to be able to generate enough attention for like to gather an audience? No, I'm going to have to be on the move in order to search for like people who would become followers. And the one follower that they did find in this episode turned out to be a person wanting the materialistic side of things from her show in the form of her wagon.
She's still homeless.
I totally get your frustration. Like, well, why can't everyone get their own homes if they have the money, if they have the bits? But it's like some people just don't want to.
I know. Well, so, okay, I can understand if they can't afford it or whatever, or I don't know. It just.
Well, the thing is,
like, just admit it. Like, admit it. Admit it. It's your own home. Admit it's your own home. But then again, the only thing it would wait. This takes a whole idea of a whole tiny house thing, a whole to another level. But
and the fact that she was willing to let Starlight say that.
She didn't think this through.
Yeah. Like Trixie could be considered like a bit of a hoarder, but then again, it's like a small surface area in her wagon.
Well, part of it. Well,
she's got to relate to that one.
Yeah.
Well, she's kind of got a reason. She is a one pony show, so she has to take all her props and stuff with her.
Oh yeah, but also it's like it's not even like the props that she even uses to show. It's literally like all the development she's ever made as a stage magician, and I think that's so humbling of her. It's like this nice little detail about like all the advancements I've done to like my magical techniques for showcasing. You know, I don't throw them away. I keep them in here.
I guess it could. I guess it's something like that.
Yeah, I just honestly feel like, oh my god, this episode is so much better than like the Rarity and Rainbow Dash episode or the Applejack and Rainbow Dash episode, because Starlight, for one thing, it's just so amoral sometimes.
Yeah, I guess she's still figuring this friendship thing out.
Well, I mean, I think part of it is like, well, Trixie and Starlight, I guess they, because they feel the need to put them at a standpoint of more flaws, not being as far along as the rest of the main 6, they play a lot more like actual friends, and that makes it a lot more interesting. I think the main 6, they gave up on making them like like that, or even like what the next stage up from that would be. Just sort of had them become like that
roommates
kind of
sort of
bland,
stage.
like, well, that kind of bland, like, we're, I don't know, all part of the same church, sort of a friendship.
Yeah.
The church of friendship, as a matter of fact.
welcome to the Church of Friendship, where you have a pamphlet in which it will teach you everything you need to know about the friend making process. Hopefully you'll abide by our teachings and structures that we've all meticulously learned these past 8 seasons, and hopefully you too can be just like us. Only you don't
the
want
Church of Friendship, the best ship you can be on.
But
then, so meanwhile, it's like what they have to draw from if they want them to fight is to dig up something that like was perfectly in keeping and nuanced and all that. Several seasons ago, but now they almost have to like not even just landerize them, like one-dimensionalize them to carry it through.
Yeah, it's just like, and I feel like this also showcases an issue for Jennifer in this episode. This is literally the 3rd time they've done this plot of like 2 friends disagreeing and being like, we're gonna break off our friendship. We're just gonna like screw up whatever event is we were planning for in the same season.
Right.
My God.
I've been doing that plot a lot. That's true. Now that you mention it.
Yeah, okay, it's like the 3rd or 4th time because also Mean 6 technically counts.
Well, when you boil it down that much, that basically described any problem between friends.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
I think stop being friends because we have nothing in common.
Yeah, I think that is the issue. There is like, it's not that we've had like friends fight, because that really is a lot of like friendship episodes, but it's like that we several episodes in a row where it goes from like 0 to like we're not friends anymore. It's it's just a very jarring episode theme, and I got you one
repetitive one.
Can't talk about an upcoming episode, but yeah, that handles friend conflicts a lot better.
Wait. You mean to tell me there's another one? My God, what's wrong?
No, it's not like that. Like I said, it handles friend conflicts better, as in like, we fight, but it's not like, it's like, there's even one thing, it's like, oh yeah, we fight, but well, we're still friends.
No.
Well, if it's not like, hey, wait, maybe we have nothing in common, maybe we shouldn't be friends anymore, like that.
Right.
That's the repetitive thing.
I am not upset because it could potentially be that. I'm upset because the fact that they've driven this theme to the ground so hard for season 8, and it's not even like a main theme of sorts. Like the main theme was supposed to be like the school of friendship, trying to deal with bigotry and racism.
Well, let me just say, this episode will sort of put those episodes in their place. Like, it's like, oh yeah, this is how it's actually done.
Yeah, and then the fact that like it's done with like 2 former antagonistic characters, and the fact that they could pull it off so much better than you guys, who are supposed to be like the symbols of friendship, kind of speaks a lot about the writers and how little they really care about the central focus characters as the seasons go by to focus on the extra characters. And
actually, when I said this, I was talking about another episode coming up.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I just like, I took a lot of good from this episode. Like, honestly,
I wouldn't say I'm beaming about this episode because it has
flaws.
I feel this episode is like a filler episode too, but there's actual character within it that makes it feel more refreshing than some of the other main 6 episodes where it's like their characterization is so flanderized.
Yeah.
Flanderized are just like, it's like, oh yeah, we're going to go completely out of character just for this, like we're going to end our friendship right now because that's so what we would do.
Yeah. And also the fact that it's not just also like Trixie and Starlight. It's also like the fact that like we get to see Twilight and Cadence hang out with each other for once outside of a focus episode. And then
I will say their reaction to the like friendship dance was priceless.
Yes.
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 That was funny. I didn't think we'd see that ever again, but there it is.
Yes.
Oh, they also had like a couple of meme-worthy moments in there. There's actually the one where she's like on the couch. I can imagine like, draw me like your saddle Arabian ponies or something like French. But also the one where the star is looking at you. That is nightmare fuel right there. Nightmare fuel. Nightmares. I'm gonna have nightmares about that face looking at me. Thanks a bunch.
Thanks a bunch, stars.
Who the heck designed that star? Who the heck designed that star that'll be slapped? I don't want to look up and see that star. Like,
what did she even use it for?
I don't know.
Nightmare
Something in her
fuel,
collection
that's
that
what-
maybe needs to go.
Yes.
Nightmare fuel. That's what you
Okay.
use it for nightmare fuel.
Oh yeah, and also aside from that, the fact that they had gators in this episode, full-grown gators being like a bit of like a pitfall, and it's like it just skyrockets this episode to like the top tier for like this season. You think I might be joking, but really, like I'm taking as much enjoyment as I can take from season 8 right now. That's how delirious it's gotten.
Let me just say, like that other episode I was talking about, you remember I said this one was a top 3? I was like, yeah, this future episode is going to make me like probably going to be up to everyone's top list too of this season.
Okay.
Well, I've been known to stray from the quote-unquote safe bets before, but
it has flaws, but it's a stable episode, which is a lot better than like pretty much half the season.
Yeah, it's like my goodness.
It is too.
I mean, like, let's see, what really are the notable episodes right now for like this season?
Horseplay.
Yeah,
Notable, I'd have to say School Days, Meltdown, and even those aren't great ones.
I would say, yeah, I think School Day is like probably the fan favorite episode of this so far.
Or not
I think
Meltdown
that
means 6. Meltdown was good,
yeah.
I guess, but I'm sorry, go on.
No, like I think Meltdown was less the episode itself, more happened in the episode, but I could still see it being there. It's like Meltdown.
Well, I meant
6.
to say Mean 6, I said Meltdown, but anyway, go ahead.
No, but I think Meltdown is up there too, which it's a flawed episode, but I still think it's up there. That's more about the season. But I would say I think Mean 6, Meltdown, Horseplay,
the
Horseplay.
the Fluttershy episode that like so it was a bland episode, but compared to the rest of the season.
What about like the Heartwarming Club and Friendship University?
Oh yeah, I guess
They were standard. Which Fluttershy episodes, though?
the one with the multiple personalities.
Oh,
Cringe.
fake it till you make it. Wait, that was the only Fluttershy episode?
Yep, there's only 2
Yeah.
this season. And one, she's sort of like the third, like she's not even like the dual antagonist of the episode. It is a good episode though, so
I definitely know what you're talking about, and I'm definitely looking forward to that episode.
well, it's before the episode you're really looking forward to, so you're gonna have to wait a while.
No, I know exactly. Aside from that, it's just like aside from that, it's like an episode I literally have no idea what the heck is gonna happen to it.
On the plus side, I have heard from the Dutch leak that the season finale is supposed to be good, so we have that to look forward to. And
Oh, good.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, I kind of got
Yeah,
spoiled on
yeah.
that. Just on certain things, but aside from that, it's just like I'm still pretty much getting myself excited for that episode when it comes in, which is gonna be weird.
Mm.
No. Like it's weird in the sense of like one writer is writing for each part.
Really?
Yeah, like from like what I'm looking at the Wikia, just I never thought I would see that before.
Mm.
But okay.
yeah, my main hope is that like with this season, like season 8, I really hope it is just like the filler season that they're sort of biding their time for the final season to be really big.
Yes.
That's what my hope is.
Well, Haber's still editing for it, so don't get your hopes up too much.
I
Haber's
kind of
not-
tried to make that excuse for the season 6 with the movie, and then the movie turned out to be what it was. Like, I think that any subject matter can be done well. I'm not gonna. I'll put it this way: I've used up my tolerance for that excuse.
it's I definitely feel like it's like season 8 is like it feels even worse than season 6 draining effect. Because even season 6 had like really good episodes for like the extra characters, and here it's even like them being effective like standard fare. It's like the only notable performances we might get is like Celestia being like a very
non-character now, replaced by she's so cute.
Which one are we talking
Well,
about?
it's something.
I mean, it is something.
She had more character when she was the standard, motherly, wise mentor figure. With at least a character, not a pandering gimmick.
Okay, now I see it. Now I see why you don't like horseplay. That makes complete sense, and I definitely will not disagree with you on that. It is very much pandering. Like, it's not like the all-around best episode because of that sort of nature, but it's at least something in which I could be like, this is the sort of type of character I actually like. So that's why I kind of put it like in high extreme, but it is very much like, do you want to have like an enjoyable Celestia episode? We'll make sure it's the highlight this season. But yeah, just aside from that, it's like even like Heart's Warming Club, the only redeemable fact is that they actually made a canon orphan character. And that was the biggest draw for that episode. Friendship University was kind of like, hey, let's put in like the charm of Flim and Flam being antagonists again. But I'll actually put like an actually decent conflict with Twilight about Starswell the Bearded of like reputation. Does your reputation matter in the grand scheme of things when fighting for what's right? Or like the fact that you got girls were doing it wrong from the very beginning and only then it's like, okay, you paved the road with like bad intentions right now with like the way you acted before. Might as well just be like, well, maybe I should do it. No. I'm going to actually do this. I am supposed to be the representative of friendship here. If I'm not going to be able to like sacrifice everything in order to carry on my virtues, then what is the point of this title, essentially, is what the conflict amounts to, which it saved itself. Which Friendship University is definitely like, it's right now like in the league right now for like actually competent writing for an episode for the season. While School Days is like, while people consider like the fan favorite, it's like, it just leans too heavily on like, let's make the main antagonist a bigoted. And I'm just like, it's so obvious that you're making him like a bigoted.
Part of that episode, though.
It's not the biggest part, but it's just like, it's like the thing that screams out to me the most from that two-parter, and I just don't really like it. I just don't really like how obvious it is. Like, But like, I really don't like how like the student 6 get like their introduction and like slowly become like their own thing. Like that is always going to be like a good part of like that two-parter.
I mean I don't mean to be Chancellor Naysay myself, but I mean the whole Starswirl the Bearded thing, that was just your standard. Hey, all of this stuff that should not actually be a concern is a concern because we have this character being crammed into the unreasonable role. Hey, no, I totally have reasons to be on their side and see things their way and tisk on you.
Yeah, it's definitely worse than like the season 7 finale. Yeah, like I am not even gonna argue with you on that. So like when I say competently written, it's like the most that season 8 can muster for competently written. I'm not saying Friendship University is flawless at all. It's not even like a great episode. It's just a really good episode. It's just like it just can't even reach great because of like the amount of like jumps that it needs to do in order to make this like matter to Twilight. Oh, because like look at me, I got your idol here, and it's like that's really like the big things about like the episodes that are currently like on the top. They all focus on Twilight getting like, oh look, even in like your stature at this age, you're still being threatened by like your mentor's disapproval. That's a shame. Oh my god, that's also another running theme if they continue on with this.
I might buy it more if it didn't seem like such a forced gimmick every time.
I get you. Well,
what's that noise?
Yeah. Oh, that's just like I guess like passing the like ambulance.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. But it really does feel like a gimmick for like a Twilight in horseplay. Like very much like the weakest part of that episode. Just it's like you gotta remember, Twilight, you're your own pony. I know she was your mentor for all these years, but it's like still, it's like gotta be honest, like Applejack says, it just be like, do you want to make like a bad show just because you couldn't you just couldn't keep her out of the role?
Right.
Yeah.
Don't do that, then we wouldn't have more of those delightful hijinks. Like, Celestia, be quiet. Oh, I don't know how to do that. I talk like this. Celestia, play charades. Oh, I don't know how to do that either. I'm a clueless dunce, it seems, about all of these things.
It's really, it's like, this is why like I give points to like the current episode we have here, Road to Friendship, in which they actually canceled the event because they realized that the amount of stress it had on them, and they still learn a bit more about each other and about how much they're willing to put up with each other in such a cramped space, which made me feel like, looking back at like some of the episodes of the main six, that like, oh, look at this event that like destroyed itself. It's let's continue on picking up this event and fixing it up and continue on with it, even though like the moment has passed, and I'm just like, oh my god, no. It's like too much trouble for like what it's worth. And the fact that like Trixie and Starlight are the ones who actually really understand this lesson and do it. Mm-hmm. This is why I feel extremely good about Road to Friendship so much. They're being more realistic about it.
That is true. That is true. I mean, it is a little bit of a slice. Now that you said that, it is a little bit of slice of life, a little bit, because what friends have had to go through, road trips and still in all those circumstances and still come out, friends.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It's almost like every single con trip I've been on.
Wow.
It's like almost every single con trip I've been on, traveling in close quarters with a bunch of people, finding what really, pushes their buttons and such. But yet, and you're gonna step on each other's hands or claws or hooves and stake in this case.
Yeah.
But yet you do find a way to, if you're a decent person, you realize, wait a minute, I did wrong or whatever, and you can come back and apologize for it, and then as he said, if you're willing to do stupid things together, that qualifies as friendship.
I mean, even for me, it's like I can so much relate to this episode because I didn't realize it about myself, but I can be as snappy as a crocodile when I have a roommate or like someone for like an extended amount of time, and I keep to myself a lot. And when they do something I perceive as wrong, I can get very snappy with them quickly. It might seem like, why did I provoke your anger? I didn't even do anything wrong. I was just doing something. It's like, you kind of stepped the line about like doing something like in my territory, man. So you better. But it's like, I'm really sorry that I acted like that. It's just I don't communicate like fully about like everything. Like, I'm not comfortable with you yet. So I'm sorry you have to bear with me like this. Like, yeah, that's kind of like the worst part about me.
There's also it also like it pertains like Trixie's like thing. It pertains to like people who have a system. They have sometimes if you have those people who are like, it's messy as heck, but yet I remember in Steven Universe it's like, oh, I cleaned up everything. Pearl says, oh, I cleaned up everything in there, and it's like runs in there. It's like, I have a system, and she's like all mad and everything. She's like, what? I have a system, and she runs back in. I'm like, okay. When I see some of my hoarders, when I see some of my friends that are a bit on the hoarder side or a bit on the messy side, I think of like, as much as there's sometimes I have it's in me like, I want to clean this up. But I'm like, no. I remember that scene. I'm like, no, this is their space. They have a system. Just like, and then I have to like, just grab my shirt or my pants in order to like unless they ask for help, they're like, "Hey, can you help me clean this up?" I'll be like, "Yes, please." Like, "Yes, please."
Gladly.
I'd gladly table flip.
Absolutely. We going Twilight OCT on this shit right now. We gotta make sure everything is perfectly organized. Everything's neat and tidy. Make sure you clean up that stain. Make sure you don't leave those clothes on the floor.
God, yeah.
Oh my God, I get Jen.
Yeah.
You and I would easily get along in a roommate scenario.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
I definitely sure hope so. Definitely. But yeah, it's like you sometimes you kind of you step on somebody else's like thing, and you realize they have a system. It's not to what you would think, but you've got to respect that other person's space,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I guess another way, like looking back, is if like because Trixie didn't want to get rid of that wagon, the underlying thing was like they could have said was like like that's her life. She's lived in it. She's performed with it. I can understand a little bit of like why would she want to let that go.
I wish that's like one issue I had with the episode is I wish they would have shown the sentimental value where it's sort of like it's told it's important to Trixie, but we don't worry.
You know what? Yeah, they missed that. They missed that kind of opportunity. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that.
All the little things she's hoarded in there and stuff, though. I mean, I think there was at least a little of that.
Yeah, there is. Like, I complimented the episode on that very clearly about the whole like pails. The pails thing, because that's clearly not one of like Trixie's like premiere things she does for like a show. That's clearly like a beginner stuff. And she still keeps it around. And I'm like, that is really sweet of her. It's like Trixie became very adorable after this episode. And I'm really glad now I have a figure of her. It's like,
it's a different, there is a little bit more. It was good that she didn't seem all that much bravado this time.
Oh, yeah.
There's a little more, I don't want to say basic, but it was a little more realistic about her, more than just the great and powerful Trixie, but that needs some peanut butter crackers. But I don't know. It just seemed a little. It was interesting seeing her with a little less bravado, though.
It's kind of funny. Like season 1, Ghostbusters, Trixie, the biggest standout character in her episode and one of the worst episodes of the series.
Mm-hmm.
Series is ambitious.
No, I'm really, in my opinion, like Ghostbusters is one of the worst episodes, and it's not because of Trixie, it's because of all the surrounding elements of that episode, which is like, no, just.
You're not the first one I've heard, take personal umbrage with that one, I will say.
Yeah. I mean, then again, it's not even the worst episode to me.
Yeah, that is true, but still a little meh. Little meh.
But but then like the turning point for her was like season 3. It was like her little like side introduction to the Equestria Girls with like the peanut butter crackers joke, and like her return like in Magic Duel for like her big like villainous return and such. And then afterwards we wouldn't see her for like the next 3 seasons.
It was actually that episode you hate that was like kind of my turning point on Trixie. I mean, I guess Magic Duel did more fun stuff with her, but it was like the whole what was that? Where No Second Prances, where she's come on, come and see the pathetic and friendless Trixies. Way to go, dum-dum. You really messed it up this time. Repentance. Trixie is almost hilariously adorably uncensored that she just... Yes. I mean, she's like the permanent 5-year-old at heart.
Yeah.
That was funny. Like she like throws herself out, and she's just lying there for like days or something.
A day at least.
It's like second. It's like I come to I came into like the show around like the end point of season 2, so I wouldn't get like into her like from like the Ghostbusters episode because it would technically feel like a rewatch. So like that's why I felt like Magic Duel was like that was like a great showing for Trixie, and I hope we definitely see more of her. then wait 3 seasons later, or wait until like the second Equestria Girls movie, in which like Human Trixie gets to be like a little bit of an upgrade from like her role to be like a little bit of like an antagonist influenced by the main villains of the movie. And then afterwards, in one Equestria Girls specials, like she becomes like a duologist with like Sunset. Like a dual protagonist with Sunset for like
Main Starlight?
Starlight, yeah.
No. I said Sunset for like the Equestria Girls.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh, that's
Never
right.
mind.
That one episode. Where,
Okay, never mind.
The wallflower incident. So yeah, like, and it's like in the show itself, it's like, okay, we're gonna run with these Twilight clones right now, and we're gonna make sure Trixie is her best friend in each of these ones, and see how much we can rake in. And in the end, it's like been like the most successful push right now with like one of the old characters that was a side character, and just upgrade to like a secondary character like this. And I'm just like, I'm so glad that like Trixie has gotten all this attention, but it kind of makes me feel like, can we at least get one more Gilda episode before the series ends? I mean, I can't be the only one, right?
I mean, she's sort of has
well, I don't know.
We have seen her at least, and she does seem better off.
I know, but
Right.
They do seem to be sidestepping a second actual episode with her, though. I will agree with that.
yeah, it's like, come on, get the Griffins a second representation outside of Gallus.
I actually wouldn't mind seeing Gabby the Griffin again.
Oh, we did see Gabby again.
Be careful what you wish for.
I kind of want to see Gabby again. I mean, she was so
Oh, we
freaking
did?
adorable. She was so freaking adorable.
Cutie Muck,
We did-
Cutie Muck, get my Cutie Muck. I like Cutie Mucks.
I think it was we did see Gabby again, and given
and
their
Hearts
flash-
Warming Clubs.
I may have missed it. Dang it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, she was literally there with like Gilda and Grandpa
non-speaking
Gruff.
role.
Mhm.
Ah, nuts. Ah, nuts.
Yeah.
That's still, I don't know. Part of me just kind of wants to see her again.
I mean, for me, I
I
just
just
feel
hope
like
they don't make her annoying.
I
Oh dear.
wouldn't trust the show.
Am I asking too much?
I kind of feel like it because like Gabby feels like a weird anomaly for a Griffin to me.
Because she's so
Just-
happy.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, I get like the whole outcast thing, but it's like Gabby just feels too much of an outcast for like the Griffin culture.
No, not this.
No, it's like not like in the physical sense, but just like in the
That's the
personality.
point.
Yeah, I know. I just fixate on like these points and just feel like uncomfortable around like people like that.
They're too happy.
Yeah,
So
like
that's
yeah.
more I can.
Okay, okay, it's all right. I get what you're saying there. I guess.
It's like that's why like I have to see this like I just I just she just didn't really interest me as much as Gilda did. Like the angle of friendship you could have with her. It's like the more damaged characters are when it comes to friendship, like the better the product turns out. Like in my opinion, for like some of the times I watch the episodes, just like that's why I sort of like enjoyed like say like Flutter Brother for like indicative like ooh damaged family relations because of like uncomfortable boundaries and such. You see characters like going out of their way to feel like a lot more intimate and a lot less shy because of like those sorts of reasonings.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, guys, I can't believe how like off track we got with like this episode.
Well, I believe it.
This episode sort of like I even sort of led into it when we began before the rack. Like, yeah, we were probably end up venting a lot about the season with this episode, just no matter how it goes.
Yeah.
And we did.
The episode itself, though, honestly, it's kind of seems like your standard Josh Haber episode when he's not feeling particularly enthusiastic. It's competent. It's not. It doesn't go too flat or unrelatable on emotions. It seems to have a solid grasp on character dynamics. It has its moments, and it's also pretty much entirely unspectacular.
Unspectacular on like the structure for sure.
I mean, it's just like it's not really trying to push anything up too 11 or heck, maybe not even 9. But
yeah, it definitely doesn't have the marking for like a great episode at all, which usually is reserved for like the spectacular outings for the series. It's like it's a good episode that knows its framework, but it had a lot of entertaining stuff for me. So I could definitely rewatch it. I could definitely rewatch it.
Oh, I could. I mean, it is. There's nothing about it that's really all that like great. I mean,
I'll
like,
rewatch scene. I think I'll rewatch scenes of this episode, but I won't actually rewatch the episode, sort of thing.
I'm not sure.
I don't know if I'd have any reason to particularly gravitate towards this one, but I mean, as far I don't know if there's any reason not to. Like several episodes, even some of the more competent ones, still have some of those nails on a chalkboard moments, like what I said, the Star Swirl the Bearded thing, where Starlight is essentially the plot device to get Twilight to feel pressure over the thing the episode wants her to feel pressure over. You drag him out to fold his arms and shake his head. Just little moments like that. There's really not even many of them in this episode, other than how Starlight and Trixie turn a little heavy on a dime. But yeah, I mean, and well, otherwise though, the worst thing I can say about it is that it doesn't like really even solve the problem, or not. Well, it doesn't bring the characters to overcome the conflict. It just kind of has them say like, yeah, all right, we can learn our lesson and go home. But I mean, although even that's a little different than some of the other rest. Kind of refreshing to see an episode that doesn't feel the need to be love and hugs and special friendship perfect.
Yeah, I guess overall the road to friendship is an actually good road to friendship. Just not anything spectacular, not any of like the amazing reasons why you would come to watch the show. It's just like the best of what you can get right now for like when the show's on its laurels right now in the past in 8, which is right now dethroned season 6 for worst season. I just feel so sad now.
I get you.
Honestly, I think if every single episode remaining were great, that would only because we don't have enough left for it to like make too much of a miracle comeback, do we?
Let's see. Let me count for you. We got episode 20 to 26, so we only got 6 more outings. Oh no, wait, 7 more outings. Oh, actually, no, yeah, 6 more outings because it's 2-parter.
I don't know at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
who knows? After all, they said like there's still the season finale.
I've heard good things about that, and that one episode that's coming up. That's the 23rd. Actually, I like that one a lot. So
the only seasons with fewer than 6 great episodes, I think, were 6, 7, and 3. And 3 has an excuse.
3 was handy. Yeah, 3 was a handy. Yeah, 3 was handicapped by its size.
Yeah. And 7 has the redeeming factor. I don't think it. Yeah, I didn't give it any thumbs down. I thought it was at least like consistent that way.
Yeah, 7.
Road to Friendship, like when a passable sort of B-grade episode looks like a high performance for this season, you know you're in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah. I honestly feel like only like 5 episodes, like from like the current 19 that we watch right now, have really been decent to like good.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I got a couple of B pluses, the School Days and the Mean 6, and otherwise, I would say like past that, I'd say maybe Moltdown, maybe the Parent Map with Sunburst and Starlight's parents, if only for all the times that went off book.
Yeah, it's really like those sorts of episodes, but it's like aside from that, it's like Mod Couple.
I think the problem with this season is not there's not a lot of bad episodes, but there's so many forgettable episodes. Like just listening to us trying to remember ones that were good, and we're struggling. Like just trying to remember the episodes is like I feel it summarizes the big problem is there's not many bad episodes. Like I think last week's was one of the few examples of the actually bad episode, but so many of them are just forgettable.
I had an average, I think, of about 2 thumbs down per season. My record for most was, I think, season 5. I had about 4 thumbs down. This, I didn't like Mod Couple. Make It Till You Make It was kind of on the line with me. I didn't like Horseplay. I know people would fight me on that one, but okay, me things aside. It was on the line with Non-Compete Clause. I was.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Breakup Breakdown. That's actually a good one.
That's a solid one, but what else was on the line with the whole thing? The Discord Starlight episode.
Oh my god, Matter of Principles.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's like literally bottom 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally bottom 3.
And Yakety Sax. I mean,
boy,
that episode hurt. Last week's episode
it did.
hurt.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
It
Yakety
did.
Sax and Mod Couple might be the only ones that hurt, and Parent Math, a lot of people seem to like aggressive cutesiness more than I do, but I mean...
Can we add a Matter of Principles to that hurt list?
You know what? Go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say that just because even when we're watching Matter of Principles, like the one thing we kept saying is like, well, it's not as bad as
the Neil just said out.
No, like what about Discord?
Discord?
No, like
it was.
Yeah, what about Discord? I think it was one. So it's like that episode, like it wasn't like when we made all the things we were saying, it's not as bad as previous like other similar episodes. I feel like it wasn't that bad because like when I say this, like they hurt us, like Mod Couple and like Yakety Sack. Those like I had to force myself to continue watching when we're doing the React thing because some of them are parts that were just painful, like just so stupid and just frustratingly stupid.
Matter of Principles did have a couple of those though.
Yeah,
even if it's not as bad.
It had a couple of those, but like the big thing is like Discord, even when Discord's bad, he's usually at least energetic and entertaining. And like, that's why I felt propped it up. Like, again, it was a jarring, confusing mix of an episode, but at least was entertaining at parts. Like Mod Couple and Yakety Sack were just almost constant. Just why does this exist?
Oh yeah, and also the both of them are the only Pinkie Pie episodes for this season. That's the most depressing thing to me because I used to be the diehard Pinkie Pie fan until season 4 happened with Spike. And that's the thing that's got me the most depressed about. I can't be happy. I can't be happy at all with Pinkie Pie this time. I thought the movie was going to be like, hey, let's hype up Pinkie Pie for like the rest of the series. Have her go out in good note, right? Because it was the best part of that movie for me. Only for then everything to come crumbling down into a deep black hole in which nothing can ever escape. I really feel nothing for Pinkie Pie now.
And that's quite sad.
Pinkie Pie is that ex who just doesn't do it anymore.
I think with Pinkie Pie, they're not trying to develop her character anymore. They're just like using it's a Pinkie Pie joke episode. It just doesn't really have much weight to it.
I mean, I'd much rather take Secrets and Pies. Please, give me Secrets and Pies. I'd much rather have Secrets and Pies than any of this. Please.
But maybe I could indoctrinate you, Nova, into that episode.
Secrets and Pies. Secret no.
It made more sense.
It
made more sense. Pinkie Pie was sympathetic compared to like these 2 episodes in which you can't even agree with Pinkie Pie at all.
True
like,
that.
She's completely in the wrong, and she just doesn't feel right, like in character or out of character.
True that.
But yes, season 8 is on the verge of tying my thumbs down record, so I'm pretty reluctant, and plus a lot more episodes on top of it that are like right on the line on whether it's even worth it that they exist. I mean, yeah, I'm reluctant to let it off the hook with the not as much bad defense.
I feel like if you're willing to tear it down, like just go for it. The season deserves it. It's like it definitely makes people feel like it's the end of the fandom as we know it right now, because like literally it's like everyone's just waiting for the end to happen. We just want 9 to be good.
How many ends of the fandom have there been?
Let's see. We had season 2 with like the whole Lauren Foss incident. Then we had season 3 with like the whole half-season thing, and Equestria Girls being like the Doomsday. Well,
what about Twilight becoming an alicorn? Don't forget that.
No. Okay. Season 2 with Lauren 1. Season 3 with like 13 seasons. That's 1. Twilight becoming an alicorn 2, and 3 for Equestria Girls itself. So we already got 4 by the end of Equestria Girls.
So then, how many ends of the fandom do we have to go to before it's the true end?
Well, if the season 5 stuff turns out to be exactly what people speculate it is, then I guess that's the real one.
Yeah, like season 9, like the setup. But I mean, the thing is, I would say like there's a lot of like big things about like, oh, this fandom's end. It's not really going to end, but I have to say something. I do watch some videos that's discussed, which I do agree. Is like I feel this fandom has peaked and sort of gone down in popularity over the past. Yeah. I would say it peaked, like not necessarily in terms of because I think it grew like for 2 to 3 seasons in terms of like viewership.
Yeah.
But I think season 3 sort of marked where like the fandom was like at its peak of like what it was, like a movement. Right. It didn't go downhill from there, but it sort of plateaued for like 3 seasons there. And then after that, like season 6, it started to go downhill in popularity because there's not as many fandom projects out there right now. There's like not like the episode reviewers is nowhere near as big as like that was a huge ass thing.
Absolutely, yes. I think people just moved on. It was a mix of either the content getting staler and people just moving on.
Yeah, I know no one wants to say the content getting staler, but I mean, I kind of like okay. Steven Universe just did the first gay wedding and all of animation.
I'm not there yet.
Second, be wary of Jenn.
I haven't gotten there yet. That was spoilers. I need to catch up.
I can learn myself. You have no idea what I'm talking about or what that has to do with anything, or if it's even anything close to what I made it sound like.
If anyone's talking like Steven Universe spoilers, I'll have to excuse myself. So.
But okay, yes, that's what Steven Universe is doing. MLP is dragging the same kind of stories we've seen out of the closet, except without the part where they fill it full of character development we haven't quite seen before. Or characterization, that character work that we haven't quite seen before with this kind of thing.
I mean, no dramatic shifts for characters, only really like new accessories. Like the biggest new improvement is really Spike getting wings and how that's been incorporated in his daily life recently. Which is like the only thing interesting about the passing episode so far right now afterwards. Just seeing how he could be like hey, look at me, I can act like Rainbow Dash now. Woohoo! Flying fast!
But I mean, like, well, okay, heck, look at the, people have been going on about, I think the quote for one season 5 won the Equestria Daily poll. Woohoo! Starlight Glimmer and memes for the win. And okay, you like memes? Let's look at the memes that people have actually remembered. That's 20% cooler. I'd like to be a tree. Pinkie Pie's crazy state. Pinkamena Diane Pie.
Yeah, I think when season 5 won, I even said under it, like
tolerance crap.
Yeah, all from season 1, like season that the quote unquote inspired moments from the last season have been a bunch of forced memes that like everybody forgets right away because they're manufactured. They're doing it for the sake of a meme, not because they actually have anything like really fun or inspired to throw out there, which sounds totally cynical, but what the heck? Why stop now?
All right, but I guess with that said, any other final thoughts in this episode?
I guess I'll finally give a few thoughts. Yeah. So I felt that this episode kind of relied heavily on its character interactions, and I kind of felt that for like the first half or a little bit more than that, they were really good. I felt like they were actually smart. There's even one part where like I thought it was going one direction, but then it just stopped before it did, and I was just like, thank God it didn't go there. So yeah, that was good, but near the second half, it just when the plot, just rolled on through. It didn't really flow well, so you kind of lost that. But other than that, I don't know. This is a good episode. Way better than a few of the previous episodes. I'll just say that. So, yeah, that's my thoughts.
Cool.
Nope. I've said all my pieces.
Standard Josh Haber, and ironically, he's almost a better writer than a season editor, I think.
He's like I've said this before. Josh Haber is not really a bad writer. He's just not really an inspired writer.
Yeah, I mean, like before he had whole entire seasons to write, he was what was one of them, like Simple Ways. It's actually one of my favorite Applejack and Rarity episodes. Like that. I mean, not everybody remembers why, but like you look at it, just like every single moment he's trying to do something, just get like fun, inspired, just any little touch he can think of, like when right down to stuff like when Trender Hooves is saying, I looked at the underwhelming, the mundane, and the underappreciated, and he's pointing everywhere, and on underappreciated he points right at Derpy, like just stuff like that. Episode was having a ton of fun with itself, and I mean, but yeah, now like you see him in episodes like this. I mean, he's still competent, but you don't get a lot of fun-loving touches like that anymore. I mean, like maybe the occasional thing like, hey, Starlight and Trixie have their own friendship chant. They're just excited to show you, but I don't know. I feel like it's all he can do to be competent now with his workload.
I remember back when Haber wrote his first episode for the series. That was Castlevania, and everyone was getting on about him about treating Spike as a punching bag.
Yeah, it's not my favorite episode, but I mean, even that is like trying to throw all kinds of visuals and a fun setting at us, and I mean, he doesn't write a lot of cringy character moments. He doesn't write a lot of tired
He's a safe
plots
writer.
as though they're revolutionary. Like, I mean, he has good sense as a writer. It's just, I mean, yeah, it's almost like when he's forced to do too much, he runs out of ideas for anything special.
All right, but I guess with that said, see y'all next week or next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello.